Hola, beautiful roses. Let's strengthen the core today. You can start in a cross-legged seat, just like this, easy seats. Reach the arms overhead, bring the palms together and down to your heart. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, interlace your fingers, flip your palms away. And take a deep stretch and then reach the arms overhead and behind the nape of your neck, elbows wide, send the chin up. And then the chin down, hugging the elbows towards one another. And inhale to open the chest. Exhale, round the upper back. Back and forth. Inhale from the tailbone to the crown of your head. Exhale, tuck the chin. And then release the arms out to the side. We'll twist to your left, looking over the left shoulder, sitting up tall. And then keep the hand on the knee and cross the arms, taking a forward fold stretch. Reach the arms overhead, twist to your right. Left hand resting on the knee, right hand behind. And sweep that right arm around, forward fold. Open up the arms, inhale. And then just let your arms swing side to side. Release any tension here. Send your chin up to the sky and down to your chest. Just letting your hands rest. Wiggle out your shoulders. And then we'll take a half a lotus pose here. Tucking your right foot, the top of it, into the left thigh. And walk the hands out forward, stretching the outer hips. Take a couple breaths. And take the palms behind and lift the hips, keeping your shins connected. Send your gaze back, let the head fall. Lower the hips. And we'll twist to the right here. And come back through center. We'll switch the feet out. So tuck now your left foot, the opposite foot on top, half lotus. Crawl the hands forward, stretching the spine, the back. And then walk the hands back. We'll do the same thing here on the other side, taking the palms flipped backwards behind you so the fingers are facing away from the body. Lifting the chest, opening the throats. Lifted lotus. And gently lower the hips back down. We'll take a gentle twist to the left, breathing in. Exhale. And then take your palms, plant them next to your hips, fingers facing forward, try to lift the hips. And you can either switch to the other side, or if accessible, tuck both feet, full floating lotus. You got this. And then carefully untuck your feet, come onto the hands and knees, coming into a tabletop pose. Knees beneath the hips, palms beneath the shoulders. Deep breath in, cow pose, lower the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the belly into the spine. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, round into your cat. Press the earth away. And find some shifting forward and back, deepening. Coming back and forth. And I encourage to close the eyes, see what feels good in your body. And then bring the knees out wide, walk the hands forward, sink the hips back, child's pose. Maybe you keep the chin rested rather than the forehead, just opening the shoulders, stretching here. And then inhale, press the hips forward, keeping the knees wide. Point your toes, lift the chin, send the head back. And exhale back to our child's. Inhale, come back to tabletop. And we'll step the left foot back, stretching the back of the leg. And then open up, supported side plank. Reach the left arm overhead, extend from the fingertips to the toes. And then side crunch here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, pivot back forward, plant the left palm. Right toes are tucked and kick the left leg back. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee. Stacking the hips, and then take a few hip circles, circling the knee. Extend the left leg, inhale, exhale, crunch the knee into the chest, and then step the left foot through between the thumbs. We'll come into a high lunge here, extending the arms overhead, and then exhale, settle. And then we'll fly the arms, shifting your weight into the left leg. Warrior 3, reaching back, kicking your right heel back. Crown of the head forward. And then inhale, reach to the sky, lift the right knee in line with your hips, single leg mountain. Hands come to the heart, and then we'll sweep the right leg behind the left, curtsy lunge. Inhale, back up to single leg. Find your balance here. Exhale, curtsy, tuck right behind left. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Right knee lifts. And exhale, curtsy lunge, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, lift the right knee in line. And then this time we'll tuck the right leg over the left. Tuck the right elbow under the left elbow, eagle pose. Hugging the knees, the elbows into one line. See the eagle mouth here. And then back to single leg mountain. And then kick the right leg back, hinging forward, splits. Step the right foot back, kick the left leg, three-legged Akapada. Chaturanga, inhale, lift the heart, upward dog. Exhale, a downward dog. And then roll forward, lower the knees, send the hips back, child's pose. Take a few rounds of breath here, letting the heart rate settle. And back up to our tabletop, other side. Shift your weight to your left palm on the left knee. Supported side plank, reach the left arm overhead, stretch, and exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale as you reach, exhale, crunch. Inhale, plant the right palm, tuck the left toes, and press up and back. Kick the right leg back, bend the knee, stack and open the hips. Trace a few slow circles in space in each direction. Inhale. And exhale, hug the right knee to the belly, step the foot all the way through. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, settle. Arms in line with the ears, and then stretch the arms back, reaching to the back wall. Warrior 3. Inhale, single leg mountain. Exhale, hands to heart, sweep the left knee behind the right, curtsy lunge. Inhale, extend the arms overhead, find your balance. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, make it pretty, lunge. Inhale. And then exhale, tuck the left thigh over the right. And hug the left elbow underneath. Either touching the palms, wrapping the forearms. You can also grab opposite shoulders here. Unwind the leg, inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, standing split. Keeping the hips lined up, step the left foot back and then kick the right leg back. Akapada Chaturanga, inhale. Lift the gaze. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Roll forward, lower the knees, send the hips back. Balasana, child's pose. Maybe let your chin rest. Or take the hands into prayer pose behind the nape of the neck. Elbows forward, stretch deep into the shoulders. We'll re-extend the arms, then shift forward onto your forearms. Curl the toes, dolphin pose. Lift the hips up high and shift forward and back. Work in the abs. Back to puppy pose. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog, and then hop forward, cross your ankles and right into a boat pose. Balancing on sit bones. Inhale, come to low boat. And exhale, tuck the knees in. Inhale, low. And adding a little twist here, bringing the hands behind the ears. Exhale as you lift. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the core. And then roll back, plow pose. Try to reach your toes behind you, lifting the hips above the shoulders, and then take your palms to the low back for shoulder stand. We'll keep the chin tucked and maybe play around here with different shapes. Bending one knee, the other, finding a wide-legged stretch. Or just find stillness here, whatever you like to do. I like to add a little bit of core work here. And then gently, when you're ready, we'll slowly roll down the spine and then come back up to a seat, back to our boat pose. Knees can stay bent, lift the chest. And then take your palms behind your hips and take some toe taps here. Tapping, tapping, keeping your core engaged. Straighten the legs, come onto the forearms. And then we'll take some scissors, crossing the ankles, engaging the thighs, the quads, back and forth, back and forth. And then holding, let the heels rest, send the head back, fish pose. Crown of your head can touch the mat, or if you have blocks, you could take that there. Maybe bring your palms into the air. And toes, lifting the legs, point the toes, full fish pose variation. And gently roll the shoulders down, back of the head rests. Take a few deep breaths here. And bend the knees, plant your feet, bring your arms alongside the body, palms down. Press into the earth as you lift your hips, bridge pose. Reaching towards your heels. We'll stay here about 5 rounds of breath. Keep pressing the feet down, engaging the thighs. And gently lower the hips, back down. Reach the arms overhead. Tuck the knees in, legs up the wall for a moment. And spread the feet to the sides. And back together in a little more section of core. Lower the legs and then lift and split. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, split. Exhale, together. And repeat, lower, lift, split, together. And inhale, lower the left leg and the right leg. Exhale as you draw the legs back up. Double leg lifts again. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Keep trying to press your low back into the mat this whole time. Keeping the core strong. And then hold the heels forward, hovering. Until you can't hold anymore, and then hug the knees into your belly. Rock side to side. Give your low back a nice little massage. And then start to rock and roll forward. Cross the ankles. Turn around, come onto your knees. We'll practice a tripod headstand here. So come onto the crown of your head. Palms pressing onto the mat with your elbows bent, 90-degree angle. Using them like a shelf for the knees. And be careful and mindful when you practice this at home. You can always go up against a wall and take a few moments. You want the back of the neck to be straight. Core is strongly engaged. And if you can, try to bring the knees back down to connect with the elbows. So you can see we're not always perfect, which there is no perfect in yoga. It's all about trying and doing, connecting with the body, and then come to a resting pose for a few breaths. And then shift forward onto the belly. Lift the heart, high cobra pose. Give the belly, that core, a nice deep stretch. And slowly release. Finding a sphinx pose, come onto your forearms. Lifting the chest and look gently over your right shoulder and over the left. Easing into this neck stretch. Back to center, chin up. And send the hips back. Walk your knees a little bit forward so the knees are directly beneath the hips. And find your puppy pose, a heart-melting Anahatasana. Imagine a puppy dog stretching just after a nap. And then we'll come back to sit on the bottom. This time with your knees together and your heels out wide. If you can, sit right down in between them. Sitting up tall. Notice your knees and really hugging them together. If you're comfortable to do so, come back onto your forearms. Maybe you come all the way onto the crown of your head. Taking more shallow breaths here with the throat open. Stay here, or if you'd like, sweep the arms and reach to the back of your mat. Or come all the way onto the back and let your shoulders rest. Palms can rest on the belly or overhead. Few breaths here. And slowly come back onto your forearms, gently lift the head, press yourself up, coming into a tabletop, and then right away extend the right heel back, pulse the leg up to the sky, squeezing the right glute up, and then bend the knee, pressing the heel to the sky, donkey kicks. Switch the legs, left leg back, and pulse up, bend the knee. A few more pulses here, squeezing the glute, inhale, Exhale, set the knee down, and then come to sit on your heels. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach to the sky, and exhale, back bend, open the chest. One more time. Inhale, exhale. This time we'll take the hands to the heels. Still toes are tucked. And then straighten up through the spine. And for a dancing camel pose, we're going to take the left hand onto your heel, sweep the right arm back, and let the hips press forward. And then take your right hand to your right heel, camel pose. And again, those shallow breaths here with the throat open, heart open. Stay for as long as you like. When you're ready to come out, take your hands protecting the low back and sit gently down onto the heels. And maybe gaze over the shoulder, stretching the neck. And we'll take it again. This time, taking the right hand to the heel and then sweeping the left arm up as you press the hips forward. Lean back, reach back. Maybe this time you untuck your toes, deepening the stretch. And small breaths. Holding here as long as feels comfortable in your own body. Feel your heart open. When you're ready to slowly and gently come back out, sit onto the heels. Notice anything that comes up for you. Just breathe. And then place one hand over your heart, the other hand on top. Connecting here with this heart-opening camel posture. Connecting with who you are and your inner strength. And release your hands. We'll come into a seat. Cross your ankles, come onto your bottom. And stretch the legs forward. Make sure you have space behind you. Paschimottanasana, forward bend. Make this gentle on the spine, letting it round forward, a wonderful counter pose. After such a deep back bending series, take a few long breaths here. Stretching the spine forward. And start to lift back up, scoot forward, bending the knees, and then roll gently down onto your back. Hug the knees into your chest and let them knock side to side, massaging the low back. And then we'll lower both knees over to the right, keeping the shoulders connected. Extend your left arm, maybe gaze towards the left shoulder. For a deeper stretch and a twist, you can hook the top foot underneath the bottom knee. And then we'll come to the other side. Shift your hips back through the middle. Hips flat. Rock and roll side to side. And then drop the knees, lowering over to the left. Right arm extends. Gazing to the right. Eyes can close. Rebalance the spine one more time, hugging the knees in. And then take the outsides of your feet or your big toes for Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Maybe straighten both legs, one or the other, or keep the knees bent. You can wrap your forearms underneath the knees for a reclined dragon pose. Anything that feels good here, maybe tuck your chin. And then take a long body stretch, reaching the arms overhead. And bring your feet out to the wide edges of your mat. Knock the knees together. Fall and bridge. A good outer hip stretch here. Breathe into the belly. And exhale, bring the soles of the feet together. Knees wide. Arms can rest overhead. Or take your hands on the palms on the inside of your thighs. Just a bit of gentle pressure. And then rest one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the heart. Feel this connection with your breath, with your heartbeat, with your body, letting it calm down. You're welcome to stay right here as you are, or extend the legs and let the arms rest by your sides. Shavasana posture. Thank you for joining me. Stay here as long as you have time. Namaste.